In the previous session, we have discussed the general format of Java program or sample Java program, how we can able to write. And we have discussed everything about the program. So what is a class name, in the public static void main, what is public static void main, string arguments, and how we can able to represent the body. Everything we have discussed. So the execution of the program will be starts with main method only. The
Sir, your
execution.
voice is breaking, sir.
So we have taken this uh, general format of Java program and we have discussed everything about each and everything. What is the public, what is static, what is main, and what is a string arguments. So we have discussed the Java program will contain many number of classes, but among the classes, one main class should be there. That is where we have written the main method, that class will be considered as main class. And we have uh, discussed what is the purpose of using main method. With the help of main method only, the program execution will be begins. So this is general how we can able to execute or how we can able to write Java program. So and we have discussed how we can able to execute Java program in the Eclipse as well in the last session. So now we are going to be discuss. So we have discussed comments in the last session. What is the purpose of using comments? And now we have discussed the system.out.println and what is the purpose of using that. In today's session, we are going to be start with control statements. What will be the different statements we have here? So the first one is sequential statements. Selection or conditional statements. Third one is iteration or looping statements. Iteration or looping statements. Sequential statements is nothing but each statement is going to be execute from the first instruction like sequentially. After executing first instruction, then second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, like this, it is going to be execute all the instructions. But whereas coming some cases, if you want to execute some logic, it is required for us. Sometimes it is required for us in our logic. After executing a few statements, it need to jump from one instruction to other instruction. It need to choose which statements it has to be execute. That and all. We are going to be right by using the selection statement where we have a simple if else, if else if, nested if, switch case. These are the things we have here. And sometimes it is required for us to execute some statements continuously for some number of times. In that particular case, we are going to be use this iteration or looping statements. So which will comes under this looping statements is for loop, while loop, while loop. So we are going to be discuss about each one in detail now. First, we'll discuss the syntax of simple if. if usually in Java, to represent the block of statements, we are going to be enclose the statement within open and close parentheses. To represent a block of statements in Java will enclose within open and close parentheses. To represent the block of statements, this is the way how we can able to represent within open and close parentheses. See here, if condition, we are going to be write the if body in the or if block. We are going to be write the if block. See what will happen here, how it is going to be function. So we are going to write the condition. If the condition is true, then if block is going to be get executed. If the condition is true, then if block is going to be get executed. So if it is having only one statement to be executed once the condition is true, then no need to represent that in the open and close parentheses. If single statement has to be executed, if the condition is true, so in that particular case, we can able to write as it is without enclosing within open and close parentheses, or else if we enclose within the open and close parentheses also fine. If more than one statement which has to be executed once the condition is true, then definitely we need to enclose that within the block. Because if the condition is true, it is going to be execute either a single statement or a block of statement. So then more than one statement it has to be executed. If the condition is true in a sense, then definitely we need to enclose that within the parenthesis. Otherwise, it will not execute the second statement or what are the statements after having second. That is the simple if syntax. If the condition is true, then if block is going to be executed. If the condition is false, there is nothing to execute with this simple if. So for that we have if else. If the condition is true, if part is going to be get executed. If the condition is false, else part is going to be get executed. So that syntax will say if condition else see here if block else block, how this is going to be function. If the condition is true, if block is going to be get executed. If the condition is false, then else block is going to be get executed. If the condition is true, if block is going to be executed. If the condition is false, then else block is going to be executed. Here also the same thing. If one statement is there, one statement has to be executed. We may enclose that within the parentheses or not also fine. But more than one statement it is to be executed, then definitely we need to enclose that within the open and close parentheses. Then only it is going to be execute the block as the block of statements. If else if to check more than one condition, we are going to be use the if else. To check more than one condition, we'll use this. Any number of conditions we can able to check here. So as for that, we can able to write the logic. If condition one, so here Let's suppose we have statement 1 and else. After else, we'll be writing one more condition, condition 2. Where we'll be having statement 2, else if condition 3, statement 3. So like this, any number of conditions, if you want to make it also, you can take it. Any number of conditions, like 200, 300,000, any number of conditions we can make. So at last, we need to write one else statement. So where this else statement is going to be get executed is, so if all the conditions what we have specified above in all these particular things, if all the conditions are false, what we have specified, then by default it is going to be get execute this statement. By default, this statement is going to be get executed. That is the purpose of using if else. There is a purpose of if else. If mainly for checking multiple conditions. So the same by using if else if we can able to check multiple number of conditions, and by using the switch case also we can able to check multiple conditions. But same thing what we can able to write, we can able to write with a switch. But the difference is, if you want to write 200, 300 number of conditions by using if else if, it will give some confusion to the programmer. To avoid such confusions, we'll be having a very good syntax with the switch. We can able to use the syntax of switch, and we can able to write multiple conditions. See, switch, and we'll be providing the expression. So case label 1. So here we'll be writing statement 1 and break case label 3. Statement 3. So like this, how many number of statements we want to write, we can put write label n. At last, there should be some default statement which has to be executed. Default statement. We will discuss how this is going to be get executed. We'll discuss how this is going to get executed. So switch expression, we are passing the expression here. If this expression is matching with the label 1, then the respective statement is going to be executed. Either it is a single statement or block of statements. Either it is a single statement or block of statements. After executing this statement, we'll find the break statement. Once if you find the break statement, it makes the control to come out from the particular block. The purpose of using break statement is, break is a keyword. Break is a keyword. So wherever we are using the break keyword, it makes the control to come out from the particular block. It makes the control to come out from the particular block. That is the purpose of using break. So if it is matching with the label 1, then its respective statements are going to be get executed. Whenever it will find the break statement, it makes the control to come out from the particular block. So if the label 1 is not matching, then it is going to be verified with the label 2. If label 2 is matching, statement 2 will be executed, and or the block of statements is going to be get executed. When it will find a break, it makes the control to come out from the particular block. The same way, if label 2 is also not matching, it will goes to the label 3. It will goes to the label 3. It is going to be checked with the label 3. If it is matching, statement 3 will be executed, and when it will find a break, it makes the control to come out from the particular block. Like this, we have represented all the cases. If all the cases is not matching, all the case labels are not matching, by default, it is going to be execute this default statement. By default, it is going to be execute this default statement. So here, labels should be integer or char or string. It should not be float or decimal. And unique labels should be given. Unique labels. So this is a syntax of switch case. This is a syntax of switch case. So the same thing, how we have written if else if, the same logic we can able to implement with the help of switch. But here the syntax is uh, supportive and very convenient for writing any number of conditions. Any number of conditions. Next, we have one more syntax here. That is nested if. So we'll discuss about this nested if. Nested if is nothing but using one if statement within another if statement. Using one if statement within another if statement, or one if condition within another if. If condition, there will be mentioned the condition 1. So this is the if block, this is if block, and this is else block. This is if block and this is else block. So if it is required for us, we can write one more if statement within if block and as well as in else block. If it is required for us, we can able to use in both if and as well as else. And again, within one if statement, if we want to use one more if statement also, we can able to use. If you want to use without else, only if also we can able to use. Without using only simple if you want to use. Again, this is syntax of if nested if. We'll see all these examples in hands-on. So we'll see the example for simple if first.
Okay, sir.
In n value, I have declared n value is 10 I have given. If n greater than or equal to 0, so then we are going to be print n value concatenation. Just we are going to be print is positive number, and we'll be writing statement outside of statement outside of. So when we are executing this, we'll be getting 10 is positive number, statement outside of if. See here, if I want to change the input, we'll be modifying the code and we are going to be execute this. We're going to be execute this. But I don't want. So at the execution time, during execution, I need to provide input dynamically. How it will be possible? So we have the concept of scanner class. We have the concept of scanner class. By using this scanner class, we can able to accept the input dynamically while we are executing the program. So we need to edit the uh, program each and every time. That is accept input from user or programmer dynamically. Dynamically. Dynamically or runtime. And a class will be used. This is the object to scanner class. So where we are going to take the system input. The object of scanner class, and when we are using scanner class, we need to import the package called as java.util package that is related to scanner class, java.util.scanner. So that package from how we can able to import the control will discuss.
Sir, your voice is breaking again, sir.
Yeah, scanner class. By using this scanner object, we are going to be accept the input. If it is an integer, for the scanner object, sc.next method will be used for accepting it. sc.next float for accepting the float values, sc.next double for accepting the double values. For accepting the string, we are going to be using the next. This is all will discuss. And as per the requirement in the examples, we'll use the examples node. So now I'm going to be use this concept here. I'm going to be use this concept here. So first scanner class sc new scanner system.in. When we are writing this class, so it is going to be show the error for us. So it is related to the package. We need to import this utility package. As we discussed just now, this will be comes under the utility. So java.util. Java is a package, and that sub package is util. And in that sub package, again we have scanner class. The package will be having the classes and interfaces. So what is meant by interface that we will discuss in the coming classes. So we have imported. Now if you see here, the package will be having classes and interfaces. Now Java is a package where we'll be having utility related packages as a sub package, and in that sub package we'll be having classes and interfaces. So we'll be having class here is scanner. So we have imported the class related to this. Now I'll be providing the information for the user what to enter. Enter a number, I'm asking. Enter a number. So that number we need to read into a variable. So with the help of SC object. So here you need not to be write same SC. You can also use any other name as object. So next int we are going to be take. Next int we are going to be take, and we are going to be read the number. So during execution, I can able to provide the input here. During execution, see it is asking enter a number. If I am not writing this statement, also it is going to be work, but we should not get what we have to enter, where we have to enter the input. So if I am writing for our understanding purpose, this particular statement, so then whenever or where we need to provide the data, exactly we'll come to know there we are going to be enter the data. There we are going to be enter the data. Now here I'll be enter the data as 8. I'll be enter the data as 8. It is giving as 8 is a positive number. 8 is a positive number, and we are going to get the output as per that. In this particular case, if I am changing the input, so I'll run the program one more time, and I'll be changing this -4. Then if block is not going to be get executed directly, it is going to be get statement outside of this. Statement outside of. Now we'll have a discussion about if else example. If else example, just here we are going to be accept a number, and we are going to be display whether it is a string or whether it is a positive number or negative number. Scanner class. So I have imported that. Now here I'm going to be declare one variable, and I'm asking the user for entering the number. Enter the number. So here we'll be reading that number into variable n. So by using next int, we are going to be assign if n greater than or equal to 0, n concatenation is positive number. Now we have written it as negative number and we are making it as outside of if block. If else block. So that is for our understanding purpose. So if I'm giving 10, we'll be getting 10 is positive number and that is outside of if block. If I'm getting minus 5 here, then we need to get it as it is negative number outside of if block. This is an example of if else. It's an example of if else.